Sapnin, ladies and gentlemen, today I will be bringing you guys the first 20-0 custom tactics on EAFC 24. Yes, indeed, I have already gone 20-0, and it's time to show you guys the tactics that you can take into your first weekend league on this game. Because let's be honest, it's going to be sweaty. It's going to be competitive. So you need every advantage you could possibly have, and I'm going to bring you guys my pro custom tactics for 20-0 here today. Jesus, I think I summed that up all right. But welcome back to another year on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm buzzing for EAFC 24, and no better way to start than with some tactics. So first of all, of course, I'll quickly show you guys the team that I got the 20-0 with, and well, there you go. Now, it's a little bit ridiculous, realistically. R9 up top. I know some people will go, oh, 20-0 with R9. Oh, easiest thing ever. Hey, you're kind of right. But still, we had to work for it. We had to grind for it. And this was me clinching the 20-0. Surely that's it, boys. Neymar puts it in for 3. R9. That's 5. It's a 5-star performance, boys. Boys, it's 20-0 secured in the first weekend league of the year. But yeah, the team's an absolute joke. Alisson, one of the best keepers on the game. I actually ran out of coins buying R9, so I had to get loan Putellas in for this weekend. Hakimi at right back, Militao and Kimpembe, amazing centre-backs. You can get better centre-backs than Kimpembe, but like I said, I was absolutely broke after buying R9. Mendy's an unreal left-back. Patry, she's a great centre midfielder. Obviously, Bonmati's slightly better, but in terms of like a 50k player, 40k player, she's fantastic. Putellas, no words, unbelievable. Neymar, what can you say? Every year on FIFA, 5-star, sensational. Hansen, one of my favorite players in the entire game, boys. She's got that Trivela that just makes her ridiculous. And then, of course, the Flash, Mbappe up top, just ridiculous. And finally, R9, who's already scored me 183 goals in 112 games and 50 assists. Breathe, Alex. However, you boys are not here to see a team. You are here to see custom tactics. And I'm here to provide custom tactics for you boys. Well, thank you for that, Alex. Starting us off here, we're going to jump into the 4-2-3-1, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a formation to start off with that I like to switch to towards the end of a game, or a game where I'm feeling extremely, like, balanced, right? And I'm going to go through a couple things in this video to explain the metas of this game and certain situations, etc. But yeah, I've got the width on 50, the depth on 60. Now, something I wanted to touch on with the depth, which is in another one of my formations, so you might heard of it, is the 71 depth. Now, a 71 depth, it essentially does like a mini press for you. Don't ask me why it's 71. It's another one of them weird things that just happens in the game, but it does. With the build-up play, we got balance, chance creation, direct passing. Always keep it on direct passing. Still seems to be the best. Obviously, we're at the start of a new game, but for now, this is what's worked for the last 2 games, and again this year, I think it will work very, very well. Width on 50, players in the box on 4. That's just my personal preference. I don't love getting counter-attacked, to be quite honest with you, and I find it works quite well. Corners on 2 and free kicks on 2 as well. And then that's how I line it up in game. Obviously, it'll depend on the kind of team you guys have. But for example, in a 4-2-3-1, I like having Mbappe on the right because I love sprinting down the wing with Mbappe and doing some skills with him, etc. I just love him on the right side. And the fact he can Trivela as well. Now, Hansen can Trivela too, but obviously she's right-footed, so from the left side, she can't in this formation. But then for my instructions, boys, at the moment, it's very, very, very balanced. Now, if you were really looking to go defensive, you might want to put back, come back on defense on your strikers and even on your cams, to be honest. However, at the moment, I've just got them all on balance for the moment. However, the CDMs is where it's quite important here. We've got color center on both of them, but still balanced attack, right? I like to have my center mids involved. I feel like they can help your attacks quite a lot. And if you have them just sat back the whole time, you're not going to have much help. And then at right back, I have stay back overlap on Hakimi, and then also stay back overlap on Ferland Mendy. Like I said, a very balanced formation in the 4-2-3-1. Let's move on to one of my more used formations, I would say, because that I don't really use too often, only really when I'm maybe closing out a game. And quickly, if you guys didn't know, in competitive this year, in the pro stuff, 3 backs and 5 backs are all banned this year. You cannot use them. So I don't want to see any of you boys using 5 or 3 backs at any point. No, I'm joking. You do what makes you happy. But you won't be seeing any 5 backs or 3 backs in any of these videos because realistically, I'm using 4 backs all year long. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I touched on. The 4-4-2, this one right here. One of the most meta formations so far this year. A lot of pro players using it so far. Now, 50 width, 71 depth. Like I said, I just like my width very, very balanced with defensive. I don't want to go one way or the other too much. 71 depth, though, this does the automatic press thing, and I've been trying it out a little bit, seeing how it is, and I think it could definitely benefit some of you guys for sure. So I'd advise giving it a try, seeing if you like it. Build up play on balance. Once again, chance creation, direct passing. It just works the best. Players in box on 4, corners on 2, free kicks on 2, exactly the same as the last formation. But with the 4-4-2, boys, again, I've got an extremely balanced formation going on here, and they do get a little bit different as we move through the formations. Now, one thing you can weigh up with the strikers is whether you have them on get in behind, right? Obviously, over the top through balls are actually really good this year, so you might want to have them on getting behind, but what I like to do is just trigger them myself using L1, or then trigger them back using R1 and then send them on the run using L1, etc. That's the way I prefer to do it rather than just getting behind automatically. On the wingers, I literally just have completely balanced, like don't change anything with them. And the center mids, again, are on balance but cover center. This is the way I like it. If you guys prefer defending a little bit more, I would say have cover center on and then also stay back while attacking. But like I mentioned before, I like to get my center mids involved in the attacks. Maybe get some Travellas going, especially with Putellas. She's absolutely ridiculous. And if I'm honest, I'd move my team around. Normally, she would play on the left to try and Travella it over the keeper because she's an absolute joke, and of course, she's left-footed. And again, the fullbacks both stay back while attacking, but both on overlap as well. Two quite similar formations there. Just one, the 4-2-3-1's a little bit more stable, and the 4-4-2, I would say, is slightly more meta this year, though, with the way it's been going in the pro scene so far. Now, next up, chaps, let's move on to my main formation. And the main formation being the 4-3-2-1, an extremely meta formation last year. And surprise, surprise, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Now, 50 width, 44 depth on this one. Don't ask me why it's on 44 depth. I've just tried it a bit lower, and I've been using it in the pro games and enjoying it so far. Obviously, like I just mentioned with the 71 press thing, it's personal preference, boys, right? I've tried it with the 4-4-2, but on this current formation, I'm trying to do a lot of the pressing myself, if that makes sense. So I'm trying not to use that 71 thing too much, to rely on it too much, but that's why I'm suggesting it to you boys in one of my formations, because it might be worth giving it a go. Especially because if someone's really bad at the back and they're holding the ball, it can really help you out. And if someone's making like loose passes, etc., that 71 depth will help you a lot. But I've got it on 44 for my main formation at the moment. Build up play on balance, chance creation on direct passing once again, obviously. 55 width. Again, the players in box, corners, and free kicks are all exactly the same in these extremely balanced formations. Of course, finishing off, we all have the kitchen sink like we do every time we do one of these tactics videos. And now the way I line this up in game is very, very important, going off the meta stuff that we had last year, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the 4-3-2-1 being one of the most meta formations last year. I've probably used the word meta unlimited times in this video. But I'm going to show you guys how I line it up. So I've got R9 up front, Hansen on the left, and Mbappe on the right. Very, very similar to the 4-2-3-1 that I showed you guys before. However, I'd like to show you how I line it up. So basically, two of the center mids are on cover center, being Patry and then, of course, Putellas, helping out defensively. Neymar's then just going to be on balanced attack, cover wing. And the reason for them both being on cover center is because I want Neymar almost acting as a left midfielder for when this defends, right? So then, Mbappe on comeback on defense here will act as a right midfielder. These two slot in at center mid, and then Neymar would almost be the left midfielder. And then Hansen and R9 up front. So it almost defends in a 4-4-2 type thing, if that makes sense, which makes 4-3-2-1 so good. Because then, of course, progressing forward makes it absolutely ridiculous. Then on the right back, I've got stay back, overlap. And on the left back, I've got stay back, but mixed attack this time. Just normal mixed attack on Mendy. If I want to go forward Mendy, I can trigger him manually using L1, of course. But that's the 4-3-2-1. And the most meta at the moment, in my opinion. I would say you guys 100% have to give this a try for your first weekend league. I think you'll definitely see some success with it. And finally, to finish us off, of course, we have to finish with it. The kitchen sink 4-2-4. It's just the same every year, isn't it, realistically? Constant press on, 71 depth on, like I mentioned to you guys before, of course, about the automatic press thing that for some reason 71 depth does. Again, build up play on balance, chance creation on direct passing, width on 50. I still just like to keep the width relatively balanced offensively. It means you can build through the middle or even still build on the wings as well. Players in the box quite high on 7, corners on 5, and free kicks on 5. Like I said, it's called the kitchen sink for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with this formation, I've got Mbappe up front just to try and get over the top through balls, etc. if I'm playing quite quickly. R9 as well. Hansen on the right for Travellas, and then Neymar, obviously amazing there. And finally, for the instructions, on the strikers on this one, I've got getting behind. Like I said before, I can trigger them manually in my normal formations. However, in this one, I just want everyone flying forward like there's absolutely no tomorrow. So they're on getting behind. The centre mids, again, on cover centre, but balance. And then we've literally got the right back on stay back, overlap, and the left back on stay back, overlap. Now, realistically, the only reason I keep them on stay back is because I am still trying to win the game. So I can put them on stay back and then also just trigger them manually whenever I want to come back with the left back and right back. But yeah, boys, that's my 20-0 custom tactics right there. Like I mentioned before, 4-2-3-1, more of a defensive formation that you would switch to towards the end of the game. 4-4-2, very, very balanced if you're looking to just play an extremely basic game of FIFA, I would say. The 4-3-2-1, much more attacking, my normal formation, and something where you can score so many different types of goals, the way you can build up on this game. Of course, make sure you're using the R1 dribbling as well, chaps. And finally, the 4-2-4, which is literally just the absolute kitchen sink. And make sure you guys give a try at that 71 depth because it could be massive for you. But fellas, that's it for my 20-0 custom tactics. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully you've got a good insight into what works quite well on this game so far, etc. And give these tactics a try and let me know in the comments how you get on with them. Good luck in your first weekend league, chaps and chapettes. Have a fantastic day and I will catch you all on the next one.